their safety and for their health if that's happening. I hope everything's okay. But if that's the case, that's a real shame. That's a really, really huge shame. Somebody asking, where can I find more information about TWC jerseys? We'll tell you on this stream. Remember, guys, you can book your ticket for the World Championship LAN Finals. It's free. Just go to e-frag.net/tickets. If our producer could post that in the chat. And I'm casting with Blue. You can check out his Twitter, Blue CSGO. Very cool guy, B-L-U. He doesn't know how to spell blue. He forgot the E at the end. You just do B-L-U CSGO. No, I'm kidding. Of course, it's your name. Actually, you know what? That's a very good question. Why are you called Blue? Why is it B-L-U?
It's actually a really boring story. It was basically, I used to go by different names because I was I was a big MMO player and I used to go by different names, but then I played this other MMO one day and I was like, I want to change my name. I was like, let's think of something that sounds cool. So I typed in Blue in all caps and then I deleted the E and just saw a three-letter name with an E missing, and I was like, damn son, this is cool. And that was my name from that point forward.
Damn, that's some heavy stuff, yo.
Yeah, I told you it was boring as hell.
Heavy stuff. Well, the thing is, do you want to know where I got my name from? Where
did you get your name from?
You see, I was 11, so I don't really know. That's the real thing. All I know is one day I made an email, and I called myself Avela, and I thought I was a cool kid for calling myself that name. And it is a weird name compared to everyone else's names. I think, like, I don't know, man. It's like it's made up of a real word, and it can be technically a real word, and it's a translation of a word in another language, but there isn't actually the word Avela in the English dictionary. So it's to avail and to be an availer. I don't know, man.
Makes sense. Yeah.
It makes sense, but it's kind of wrong. So it's not really a word. But that, yeah, again, another boring story. Not saying yours was a story. Yours was a boring story, but mine relatively boring origins of my name. All right, so guys, we're gonna have a quick commercial break. Right, we'll be back in like a minute. Don't go anywhere, and then I'll tell you guys some extra information about the World Championships that you might not know. So be right back, just in a minute.
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck! What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember, G2A.com, the best video game store ever!
Okay, didn't get a warning. Just chilling, watching the preview screen, and my face is on there all of a sudden. It seems like the final player is back, so we're really sorry about the delay. It's been a huge delay. I'm looking at my imaginary watch, guys. I was just, let me look at the time. Okay, I can't see anything. It's just my skin. Let's hop onto the game. It seems like everybody is here, and joining me this afternoon, this long afternoon, is Blue. It's really nice to have you with me, Blue. How are you doing?
Pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. We've been, as you just said before, we've been gabbing here for the past 40 minutes, waiting for this game to get started. But it looks like we're finally gonna get to it now. So, welcome back, folks.
Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in during that advertising segment. And again, I'd just like to tell you guys, we do play ads because it's how we run the stream, and it pays for all the different production costs, like the studio, electricity, the people involved, and whatnot. So I know sometimes advertising, and also the sponsors of this tournament who are making this, especially the in-stream advertisements, these are the sponsors that made this tournament happen. They're very awesome people. Do check out their websites. They're helping develop the CSGO scene, and they're helping develop us as an organization. So do check them out. But it seems like we are going to start with this best of one. Thank you very much again. And it will be Mirage, Indonesia versus Philippines. Indonesia winning the CT. Winning the knife, sorry, and starting off on the CT side. And look at this, all utility, no armor here for the Indonesian players.
We see again here the positions being taken up by the Philippines now as they try to work their push. Right now, the bomb position back over here, trying to work it onto the B site, but they are going to try to sell something here onto A, which is actually something you don't see too often on those pistols, just due to the fact that it limits your potential player amounts that could be working with you here when you actually go in for the push. So that's going to be Zero now, trying to find his way out and trying to see if he can find any opening shots here to do some damage onto the Indonesian roster, but it's not going to be happening. And I think that sort of faux push that he made outside of the palace, that might seal the deal here for them to catch on to the fake, but however, it's not, and they're going to rotate one extra player off from middle now onto that A site. Ridix is still holding strong, though, as the actual take attempt starts from the Philippines side of things. He's going to be able to drop one of the players. Narishja, however, will trade it out, but Rosu again, he's here. He's going to be able to take out Narishja, and now it's into a 4-on-3 situation, as we've got everybody else still rotating in from the Philippines, but Indonesia quickly filing into this B side as well, and still no plant from the Philippines as of yet.
Yep, 43 now trying to lead the defense here as he takes down FLX coming in from short, but there's going to be attack from a terrorist coming in from short anyway. And now it's just two Indonesian players with no armor. It's a difficult situation for them to be in. The bomb's not being planted yet. They can take their time. Two players are pretty badly hurt. The Indonesians still have a chance. The bomb's going to be planted, but Dispense is going to go down almost immediately. Zero now trying to hold short. Sees one CT. Frost, Misty. He does give away the position of himself, though, so Sis may be able to take him out. There's one person here in the halls. A lot of damage dealt here, but now it's just Sis on his own in a 1 versus 2, and all he needs is just a couple of bullets on each player to finish off the job. There's the nade. He's going to go for the smoke. Ninja, perhaps. Maybe he's going to be able to force the terrorist to pop out of his position, and look at this. Hard steel nerves, iron nerves, but not iron enough. 43 will go down, and Sis now with a defuse kit will be able to get a defuse, and actually picking up the kit from Ridix, who had it at the beginning of the round. So excellent retake there by the Indonesians, even though they didn't have the armor, but it was a good play from the Philippines, getting the entry frags and getting the bomb planted.
And a great pickup again there, too. Picking up that early round, denying the tease of their pistol round pickup, which is going to keep their totals low, and it's going to force them to win those much harder gun rounds. And we'll hand over 3 out of the 5 or 6 we expect to see claimed here on the T side a little bit prematurely. So now again, the Philippines will see what they can respond with. They do decide to force it up here. As you can see, Tech 9 armor buys and quite a few grenades being brought out here too, so they're just going to go right for it here on that second round. They did get the plant, so they would have had the option to go for the third round buy, and they'll trade it out this time. They should still be able to afford the AKs if my math is correct, but it will probably be limited on the utility front if they go for it there. So they just go right in for this buy here. They're going to try to surprise Indonesia, and we'll see if it works. However, they've already completely bought up the rifles, so not exactly sure if it's going to do the job they're hoping for with this lineup now from Indonesia.
Oh yeah, they're going straight for the full damage. They're not making any mistakes here. No SMGs. They're not going to mess about with the Philippines. And it shows that the Indonesians might fear them. They might have practiced against them. They might see them as a good side here. Look at this. Ridix with a FAMAS. Drops the bomb. Nice double kill. Pops up with a USB. And that's a fantastic triple from Ridix. We have to see a replay of that. Zero will try and return with the P250. It's 3 versus 1 now. A Zero here over at the bench. We'll go down. And Indonesia will make it 2-0.
And now with that 2-0 scoreline here, what exactly are we going to see the Philippines work with? And it actually turns out my math was completely off, as they're not going to be able to go anywhere near those AKs this time, considering they didn't do the complete buyout on that second round. This will be a full eco from them with the exception of these smokes and a couple P250s here and there, of course. And they are just going to go probably for a quick take attempt here on the A site.
Yeah, and you just reminded me, actually, that's very interesting that they didn't eco the second round and go for a full buy on the third one, which is what we see teams do. Instead, they went for a force, thinking that the Tech 9 armor would be very good for the for the B site. And also interesting that Indonesia didn't go for SMGs, knowing that they would probably be on eco. So they both kind of understood the way that they were going to play. So that's very interesting indeed. Anyway, Philippines now going for an eco push towards the A site.
Mirage is just going to go right in here, trying to get the plant. They actually are going to sneak that through, which is a pretty big thing to grab there. Those 5 smokes paying out in dividends now. And Zero also pushing through. We almost see Mirage picking up a kill, but Rosu finding 2 very quick frags for himself. He picks up a 3rd on the dispenser as well. And Sis finding 1, also getting a piece of the action here. Now just down to 1 player left alive here from the Philippines. That's going to be 43. Sis quickly handling him as well. And that will be that 3rd point now being picked up by the Indonesian squad. And again, only losing 1 player along the way here, so not a lot of heavy losses, not a lot of rebuys. That's good for the money stack up heading later into the rounds where now the Philippines are going to get their chance to strike back going into their full buys.
Oh yeah, but fantastic job by the Philippines on the eco round to get the bomb plant as well. Now they do have a full buy with the open 0, so I wonder if he's going to be able to get any picks on mid. Indonesia, though, don't have that sniper rifle yet, and they'll be playing with an interesting setup, in fact. 2 people going to the A site, 1 window. He's going to be in a lot of trouble if he gets popped down by 0, but 0 is actually moving towards the A site, looking for a pick. Rampy pops up, and oh my goodness, that double nade. Woo! Good night. 0, he goes down. That's the op down already. 43, holding the flank here at B holes, getting information, and the CTs are nice and dynamic on their side at the moment. They're looking for information. They're not just chilling back and allowing the CTs to do what they want. And you can see the player on mid, after checking mid, realizing that there's no early aggression from the Philippines, is going to back towards connector.
They're going to move through underpass now. This is 43, trying to find his way in to get that very, very important mid control here for the T side. He's fighting against Flex, but it doesn't look like he wants to challenge it, as he's now going to fall back, moving back over here. Riddix, I think, got a little bit fidgety there after he might have heard a sound, but there's absolutely nothing being played there. At the same time, though, the Philippines does not really want to mess with middle too much here either. Only Dispenser moving out there with the op at the moment, trying to hunt for a potential player that could be in the window, but right now everybody kind of just moving away from each other at this point, as each player trying to counter each other out, but nobody meeting the correct pattern just as of yet. But now, we do see the Philippines lining up for that 3-man push inside of the B site. And so far, it could work out pretty well, but now Riddix getting the early spot. We can see the relocation coming out of potentially getting these players in a better position to counter out this push, but they're already working their way out. Mirage is going to lead the charge here now. The bomb carrier, though, coming out second, and that's going to be Deathwiz. He finds another shot as he's going to be able to take out Riddix there. Rosu, though, finding a second one and 2 there as he takes out Deathwiz and Narusha. Now in a 2-on-3 situation with 43. He takes out Rosu and finds another double spray coming out here for 2 of these players in this round. Frost Misty finds 43, and now it's just this 1 player left alive here from the Philippines, Dispenser, but he's completely out of time. And Indonesia are going to win just by pure attrition.
Yeah, that was a fantastic play from Riddix, actually. Even though he went down without doing any damage, he did back away exactly when he saw those double nades, threw a perfect pop flash, and then put himself in position. But excellent entries there from the terrorists. They seem to know how to get those entry frags moving in towards the B site. They know the positions to check. Great double kill by 43, but I think he got too fast trying to get the bomb plant because he knew there wasn't enough time left. But the thing is, Dispenser all the way out in mid, doing absolutely nothing, not being helpful, not helping out in short. That was one of the big reasons why Philippines weren't able to convert that into a round win.
Now we'll move and see exactly what the Philippines move themselves to this time. They do go for the broken buy because of the fact that we were able to see that up save from the previous round 0. We'll be one taking that up. But beyond that, of course, 2 Galils picked up here by 43 and Nershja. And then you've got Dispenser and Deathwiz going with the Tech 9s. And again, don't forget the power of the Tech 9s. They're the mobile rifle, as it can be called. Can still do quite a bit of damage if you're able to line up those shots. Whereas Indonesia, of course, still holding strong. A little bit light on some of these setups, but that's mainly because we've already seen some of those smokes used on the initial block-offs. But now they're actually going to deny, at the very least here, the push that comes out from Palace. The smokes will come out. There's a huge hole left in it, though. So Sis and Frostmist, you're going to be able to get a huge amount of intel onto that. Dispenser moves out. They're actually going to get a kill through on Male. Mainly the damage they're coming out from that AK, though. But it doesn't even matter, as Indonesia just completely shut them down. And again, the only player left alive would have been 0, but he's also a little bit too late to the party. But Riddix also getting the chance. He's going to shut him down this time, and the op does falter.
Yeah, that execute was slightly uncoordinated. They should have just waited for the CTs to use up their utility and use up that Molotov before going for the entries. It was a good idea, but the players coming in from T-Ramp weren't able to get their entry frags towards the CTs at CT, and so for that reason, it was a pretty easy cleanup from the Indonesians. Auto Sniper now on Sis, and will be playing the A site at CT. We see a lot of players do that. For example, Get Right really enjoys to pick up that Auto Sniper over at CT and hold the A site. And we also see, for example, Snacks sometimes picking up that Auto Sniper and playing the B site with a weapon. It's very, very good. Will the Filipinos be able to get an entry here as they play with just 1 Tech 9 and 2 Galils? Flashes come over. There's a Molotov. That's going to definitely slow them down. Frost He's got a good position here to cut them off if they decide to push through, because they've smoked off the site. They're going to be coming right from that angle. He gets the first frag. Rose makes the second. He gets the second there for Frosty. And they're going to get the bomb plan at least. But, oh, he's trying to knife away. Frost runs across with the USP. So confident here, the Indonesians. And such good play from them as well, as they hold down the A site and only lose Rose at the beginning of that. So 5-0, now 6, as they take down the Philippine A-side attack.
Something important to note actually with this auto sniper buy was it seemed that it was a little bit more poorly communicated than it originally was planned to be, because there was a misbuy from Sis where he actually picked up an M4 and then was later dropped that auto sniper by another teammate. They traded it out, of course, but still, I think we also saw that other teammate having bought the M4 anyway, so that was essentially an M4 that got tossed to the ground and was never even used that round. So that was a huge amount of money that got wasted on Sis, and economically speaking sets him down by about a round or two that he would have been able to go for full rebuys on should we see the Philippines start to pick up rounds here. And a note that obviously at this point doesn't matter too much, but should we start to see the Philippines win rounds, could have a pretty big impact on the economical buys from Indonesia in later rounds.
Indeed, so the Philippines, though, with that bomb plant and the loser money that they're getting, are able to go for a full buy with an AWP. 43, though, just with a Tech 9, and it's looking like it's a difficult task for the Philippines to go through that Indonesian defense. They've really got the sights closed down, and the Indonesian players are landing their shots. Their CT side at the moment looking fantastic, but you can see, excellent idea here by the Philippines. They're faking an A side push, but there's the smoke from the CTs, and that's going to slow them down if they want to try and go in towards the B side. 43 just trying to put a bit of pressure on the CTs, but they know it's a fake. They know they're not going to see anybody in the A site soon, and so FLX will be holding his position here in apartments with the Molotov, and we've got a nice setup here. But there's the entry from mid. This is nice play here from the terrorists, now using their controller mid to their advantage, but Sis is going to get returned. Riddick is going to make a frag over towards the B site. Sis with another, using that auto sniper very, very well, and it seems like the terrorist attack has been stopped in its tracks, with the Indonesians still in full control of the sites, but they still have the bomb, the terrorists. They've still got 25 seconds left on the clock, and if Zero and Death right now can prop up a miracle, they might be able to pick up this round.
Now they're going to fall back here, try to switch it up towards A. There hasn't been the rotation yet from the Indonesians, but they're already getting themselves over there. Rosu is going to get himself back over here by Ticket Booth and should be able to counter on a direct push here, but 10 seconds left on the clock, and yeah, Philippines, they're not going to have anywhere near enough time for this. They're just looking again to pick up any aggressive players here from Indonesia at this point, so not going to be happening. Indonesia, again, still staying strong, still being that top team that we were expecting them to be coming into today's group stage, and now at least it's 7-0 against Philippines. They still are having trouble, apologies, picking up those rounds here on the T side, and really just having trouble getting into that site and finishing off once they are able to get the bomb down.
Yeah, indeed, very nicely done there by the Indonesians, looking very solid, looking very strong. But the Filipinos as well had some nice entries earlier on, and they just need to coordinate themselves a bit more, and they need to win their 1v1s. But at the moment, aim of the Indonesians is just that much better. They've got some executes here, the Philippines, and they're trying to squeeze their brains for any ideas that a fake and going towards the B site would have worked if it wasn't for that really well-timed bit of utility from the Indonesians. And that just tells you, Blue, that the Indonesians know how to use their utility and know how to time their utility here on Mirage.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, they've been showing it time after time after time again here with how strongly they have been able to hold off these angles so well. But now again, the Filipinos, they are going to try pushing themselves over here, and they've gone for this split situation again, more so at this point I think to look out for any aggression, since now with Indonesia in such a strong situation economically and obviously round-based wise here, there shouldn't be any reason for them to play passive and keep to their guns. They can afford to make mistakes and push forward and get hungry for these kills, but they're actually not doing it, and this is something that I can really respect as we see Riddick, they're finding 2 kills just because Philippines are forced into a play. But this is something I can really respect about teams that don't do this on the CT side, is when they don't get super aggressive, when they still stick to the strat despite having that huge advantage, and that's exactly what Indonesia is doing right now. They're sticking to the guns, they're hanging back, they're not taking any of these big risks, and it plays right into exactly how they need to play it here, as again they're getting very minimal losses on these rounds. It is keeping the economy strong, which is often a very overlooked part for a lot of teams' CT side strat.
Yeah, they're very, very professional right now, the Indonesians. They're playing very good professional CS, but they're going to jump right in front of Neruja. There's nothing professional about that, as he takes down 2 of their CTs, and now it's just Sis in a 1v1. He actually took down the terrorists inside the site, and that's a perfect flash. He's going to look away, and I'll allow Sis to win this round. But nice play there by Nerusha. Is that what you've called him? I think I was calling him Nerusha. I don't know how it would be pronounced in a Filipino accent, but I kind of tried to put the accent on there to hope I was right, although I could just be completely butchering it. I don't really know. If someone in the chat knows better, of course, they could correct us, but that was probably the best one I could come up with. Now, I've always asked the chat on how to pronounce the names properly. I should really ask the players before the matches, but they're usually quite busy. But excellent there by Sis to clutch up that round. It's a good idea by Nerusha holding that position, and he almost might have been able to take it, but knowing his spot, it was easy for Sis to just flash him, and again, they had utility at the end of that round, and it really helped with the retake for the CTs. So 8-0 Philippines, though, relatively close. And again, Indonesia being professional, as you said, allows them to have a good economy. And also, they cannot give away any rounds simply because, like, okay, you're winning 7-0. But if Philippines pick up around here, pick around there, put you on an eco, all of a sudden, it's 9-5 or, you know, 9-4. And then they might even get 5 or 6 rounds at the end of the first half. So they have to be really careful here, the Indonesians.
Now we'll see the push coming forward here as well again. The Philippines looking to get mid-control early, but Rosu, like it's nothing at all. Finding that off-shot on defense, that didn't even register for a second for me, but 43 gets the response. Sis there again, though, to get the trade, as he takes out 43 with that auto-sniper that's been so prevalent here for the Indonesian CT side. And now we see that 2-for-1 now. Although we did see the opener from the Philippines that gets traded right back. And now, however, Zero puts it back into his team's perspective, bringing it back down into a 3-on-3 as he finds a nice shot and assist. And again, mid-control has been gained by these players at this point. This is some point that they've been struggling to get to be completely honest. Oftentimes, they've been shoehorned into just going directly for another site. Now they've actually got mid-control, and now it's up to them to actually utilize this and push it into another site. They're going to do this over towards B, and it's perfect now, too, because Riddix is the only player here. There was a slight rotation, and it moved Flex off a little bit. Now he's coming back in, though, and they're going to have to deal with him, but he comes in fragging hot. He's going to find Zero. Nerusha takes out Flex, but at the same time, Riddix is still there, too. He's going to take out Nerusha. Deathwiz corrects that one and brings it into a one-on-one, but the time again is going to expire. As Indonesia will come out on top, and not only that, but the kill comes out as well.
Yeah, he's going to die after the time as 0 money for death. That was so heartbreaking. Getting Philippines really close to winning a round. And you have to understand that Philippines don't have a bad T side. The CT side from Indonesia is absolutely fantastic. And honestly, they are playing some high-level CT on Mirage right now, and high-level CS. Really fantastic CT play. Checking the right angles, great positioning, great movement. Something that sometimes people forget is how you move around the map, how you attack those angles, and how to hold, and how your team rotates and check the angles. What they did on the B site was fantastic. It should have been Philippines round there, but they were able to kind of hold them off, and then Frost Mist will be able to get that 1-versus-1 clutch. So really nicely done by Indonesia, and it's really hard for Philippines to do much against this CT defense.
Well, they sit back here. They've gotten that very quick site control, as we already mentioned, but Zero still holds it strong here, too. Actually doing a lot of damage as Juke players coming in, but he gets completely destroyed by Frost. Deathwiz as well, finding a kill on the Flex, but Sis, he's going to be able to take down 43, and although it was looking good on the hold there for the Philippines, they just get shut down again from Indonesia. This player is playing so strong, and we almost have that teammate coming out. Sis, of course, had to get a little greedy, and Rosa wasn't able to pick up a frag that round, but he's had his fun plenty of times before. Not too disappointing to see him not picking up anything, and still now 10-0 as we join as we start the 11th round here. Philippines again, they had such a good lineup to possibly pick up that round, but again coming out a little bit short there near the end when they had to defend the site.
Yeah, Indonesia, they're looking strong now. We do have a full buy from the Philippines up on 0. And the Philippines, they've been attacking the B site with pretty close to success, I guess. You can't call it success, but close to success, getting those 1-versus-1s and the 1-versus-2s. But they're not able to convert that into a round win.
Again, Philippines trying to go here for a lot of mid-control once more, but also have 43 working very slowly out through underpass right now. Trying to catch that player that's in window. It's actually going to be inside of Dark Room right now, so he's going to move out towards there, and won't be seeing a whole lot of action just yet. But as we see the Philippines slowly creep up, it could get a lot more active here in a few moments, but it's actually a great bait there, too. They actually mispositioned the smoke a little bit. Not sure if that was on purpose or not, but it plays exactly into Zero's off shot, so that works out great.
Yeah, that's a really good idea there from Philippines, getting that mid-control, making those trades. It doesn't matter if you lose the terrace, and make sure that you get the return and death with the entry there. And it looks like it might be around here for the Philippines. Excellently done there. It's just Riddix now, who's had a pretty good game so far in a 1-versus-3. Will he be able to attack the site properly? Zero's got the perfect position to take him out, and he'll make that frag. No mistakes there. Philippines, though, great play. They smoked off window. They smoked off short. They went forward. They got their mid positions. They waited for the Indonesians to get information. They took out those Indonesians who tried to get information, and then they just made the trades in towards the site and won the round. So So really, really nice T-play there from Philippines, as Indonesia now losing that round will not have so much money due to the fact that they've been having a lot of close rounds, a lot of 1v1s and 1v2s where they've lost a lot of the players. So having that, if they win this round, then Indonesia might even be on the double eco.
Yeah, and that was the big thing too, and that was what we talked about before. This was a big key that the Philippines had to work towards, and they had been putting up a lot of very close rounds. They were just missing that key component that was able to push it over the edge and allow them to actually take the rounds away. But now that they've actually successfully done that, just that one single round has already made the economy on Indonesia very awkward. They win this one, and they could, of course, have had the potential to break it, but it looks like Indonesia are going to take things right back away here again, and they've already put this into a 5-on-2 situation, as unfortunately Indonesia, after so many rounds of just this passive, this very passe, this very controlled play here on the CT side, now they put it in full throttle. They get super aggressive, and the Philippines just were not ready for that at all.
Indeed, so really nice aggression there by the Indonesians, and again they're really changing things up, keeping the terrorists on their toes. Very nice dynamic play from the Philippines now, just with 2 players, it's Dispenser and Deathwiz. Oh, Whom, I think it's Whom question mark is called Deathwiz right now. So it's a really nice name, because actually he changes his name, so you never know who he is. So you know, he poses that question, and then he doesn't answer it for you. Always like the Riddler. Talking about Riddlers, we've got Riddix now, who's over at Halls, just making sure that the bomb doesn't get picked up by the terrorists if they're coming from the B site. But both terrorists are now stuck in the palace. It's pretty much a raid onto that residence right now by the CTs. House to house fighting. And the Indonesians should be able to pick this up. Nice Molotov there. And oh, Rose's going to burn, but not enough to get the frag, as Indonesia make it 11-1. Really nicely done by their great aggression as they pick up that round.
And the match is going to get paused here. I am assuming this is a tac pause on Philippines, and it is a much needed tac pause. I probably would have expected this one to come out about 3 to 4 rounds earlier, to be honest with you, but they do pick it up, or they are going to pause it up, I should say.
Yeah.
Here on the 13th round, just trying to figure out exactly what they can do, as this... We just talked about the money situation and how Indonesia was almost broken off of those previous rounds despite having 10-1 in a row, but the fact that they were dropped down to 2 to 3 players every time kind of kept it in its own stable situation, didn't really let it grow or shrink at any point there to where they wouldn't have been able to buy. But unfortunately, just that one pickup from the Philippines and now the loss right back after it, and with the round being so close as well, and they're against their favorite with them having to rebuy every single round, their money's going to be broken now. They... there's a point where they can definitely go for a Tecton armor buy and try to work it there, but again, just looking at the track record at this point, probably not too much of a hope, so might just want to sit back a little bit here. The players that can go for the Tecton armors, let them do it, but everybody else just have them save and then just go for the full buy in the next round. Probably going to be the best choice at this current time. That's
true. That's 100% true. And talking about pings, you can see that the Filipino pings are tad bit higher than that of the Indonesians. And also something I've noticed that explains a lot is that the Indonesians are playing online, it seems. I'm going to double check with them after the match and ask them, but I think they're playing the qualifiers online. And it's really good to see so many teams take this tournament so seriously and go to those lands, be together. And I guess it's bringing people from different teams together, and it's bringing the CSGO scene of that nation together under one front to support their team, and also for the players to play together and to even strengthen and maybe share ideas and try to develop their CSGO scene. So it's really nice to see 3 players from one team, Team NXL, and 2 players from 2 different other teams together in one LAN place, playing together, making sure they qualify, making sure they go to the LAN finals in Belgrade.
And now again, they're just going to roll right out over here, trying to get that mid control by force, but it doesn't work out at all. Rosu finding 1, 2, now 3 and 4 as he takes out Whom, now destroying any chance through the Philippines, getting control. Now they push up, they find that last player. Sis is going to steal the ace, but it doesn't even matter. They shut them down. Granted, again, the Philippines weren't really looking to get too much. They did go for that very economical round here, and they're going to force things up here on the final. Or apologies, we're on the 14th, not the 15th. Last round was the 14th, but I was wrong. And they're going to go for the full buy here now on the 14th round. Still a little light, of course, with the 2 Galeos on the 43 in Russia, but beyond that, of course, they should still have everything they need to make a much more impactful round here comparatively if they had tried to buy on the previous round.
Yeah, some fantastic ult play there from Rose. And let's see if he's going to be able to continue with that. Zero gets the entry on Frost over at Palace. Right now, Philippines are running out of options and running out of time as Indonesia, again, with yet another dominating performance, this time on Mirage, not on Dust 2, and this time against the Philippines as well, who seem to be a bit more structured and a bit stronger than the Nepalese side, but it's not strong enough here as the Indonesian CT is absolutely impossible to go through now. The Philippines, even though they're getting entries, even though they're looking pretty solid and they've got a bit of tactics under their belt, they're still not providing good enough of a challenge or a strong enough challenge for the CT defense.
We're going to see a little bit of a battle here as the Philippines are looking to try and brute force their way into B. They get spotted very, very early on, though, so this plan probably is not going to work out so well. They move it back, and again, they're hanging out by the T-spawn, but this is another actually problem so far that I didn't really address yet with the Philippines T-side, is that they're taking a very, very long time to just get small amounts of control of the map and just to decide on which site they want to take this play towards. We've seen it about 3 or 4 or 5 times now where the round has ended. I just want to get an exact tally. It's happened 3 times to be exact here, where the round has ended due to timer, and mainly because the Philippines, again, would lose 1 to 2 players earlier on and would really hesitate and wouldn't be able to make a decision for the rest of the rounds. They just kind of let it expire, or they push in way too late, like it's happening now. Like right now, there's no way that this push should be successful. This should be an easy hold for Indonesia. We'll see. With 10 seconds left on the clock, someone can just push in. If they stop 1 plant, then it's all over.
It's super, super late. We've got Sis already on top of Tetris here. He gets the first frag. He doesn't actually stop the bomb being planted. Oh, he does. They stopped the bomb plant, and what a triple kill there for Sis. He got actually 4K that round. Really nicely done, as you just mentioned, and as you foresaw, like a true prophet. 4 kills by Sis. They were too late. They were far too late with that bomb plant or with that attempt at a plant, and they're trying to play that nice slow Na'Vi play, but it's not really working, especially since the Indonesians are so solid. They're not, literally they're hoping, if we're late enough, Indonesia are going to try and get information, they're going to push, I'm going to pick up frags. No, Indonesia stay back, hold their angles, and just make sure that they're ready when that attack comes.
And that was actually pretty unfortunate that he stopped the plant, because it looked like he had been doing it already for a couple seconds. We probably could have got it, to be honest, and that would have been an extra 800 in the bank for this round, and might have enabled a couple more rifles, if not AKs, to come out onto the board here for the Philippines. So they're going to be limited this round, but to open it up, they bring it into a 3-on-2 situation after the trade start, but Rosu again coming back in. Fire there, takes out Mirage, brings it down to just 1. As Indonesia, again, keeps cool and composed, taking out the final player as well, will be Rosu. And they are going to end this half 14-1. Doesn't leave any room at all for mistakes on the Philippines side, switching over to CT. And unfortunately, doesn't really leave any room at all. And we'll probably be looking at Indonesia claiming the second set as well, which will guarantee them that spot in the main group stage for Asia.
Yeah, Roseo looking so good. He's on 20 frags, Sis on 22. Indonesia solid on their Mirage. They really know how to play the CT on Mirage. And we continue to replay of the nice kills by Roseo to end that round and to end the first half 14-1. So it looks like Indonesia have pretty much secured their spot in the winners group, which will be broadcast here starting